It felt so much better to be able to find family names because it feels like you almost already know them. When I went into the temple, I felt such a happy spirit in there. The spirit didn't feel like any other temple I'd ever been in, and I think that's just kind of, since you're doing the family names, you feel the happy spirit that from heaven, I think, just kind of reassuring that maybe they're accepting the gospel, and it's just a happy spirit that you feel, and I think it's just more meaningful when you do family names in the temple.
My dad told me, he's like, you should call your cousin, who doesn't live very far away from us, but she does like all the family history on my dad's side. She had found a huge line. It was crazy that she had just found them like 10 minutes before we had called. It was really special because, you know, I basically changed their fate and what's going to happen to them. And I mean, I already know what's gonna happen to me. And for them, it wasn't so certain. Like their fate is in somebody else's hands. Like, and that's pretty scary. Not to be able to know where you're going, because when you were on earth, you didn't make the choices or you didn't have the gospel. And so, yeah, it was pretty neat because I got to help them.
I found a family line with the last name of blank. I found them, and I actually found a picture of them. And it was really, really special when I found that picture because it made it more real to me, knowing that they were actual real people that lived on this earth and that still are still real, waiting for their work to be done, and having a face to think about when I was doing the baptism. And so it was really cool, and they didn't have all their work done, so I was able to take their names to the temple. So once we were at the Nauvoo temple, because of time, they said we could only be baptized for our family names, that we would do the confirmation for someone else unless we felt like we really needed to do those confirmations. And so I asked if I could do the confirmation just for Sister Blank. And when I did both the baptism and the confirmation, the spirit was really, really strong, and I knew that she accepted and that she was very happy to be able to be released from spirit prison.
Eventually, we did find one. It was the easiest one that we could have possibly thought of, my great-grandmother, like really close, and like not, it was like common sense to have thought of her. But we did find it like as a family, like we were all together, so it was really nice to be able to have that time together and like have that success together. Whenever I was at the top of the stairs in the font, and it all hit me, I was like, wow, I'm changing my great-grandmother's eternity. Like, it's not like, oh, it's a little thing. No, it's like her eternity, and it's a really big thing, and it made me really happy.
Well, they taught me how to use Family Search, and I thought it was really good. Found a few names, and I looked for that green arrow. I was like, I got you. When I took my name to the temple, I felt really spiritual. And it was also kind of personal because I knew it was my name. It wasn't some random person's or something. And it doesn't really feel connected because they're not related to you. But whenever I went to Nauvoo, I actually did 5 names that were mine. And, you know, I felt really good because I knew they were all actually related to me.
We were able to find a large number of names for my family because using Family Search, we were able to find the ship Manifest that my great-grandparents came from the Netherlands. They came over here, and we found that manifest, which was able to take us back to where they lived, and we were able to find my great-grandfather's father. And from there, it linked us to all the names from his side of the family. And we got into the font, and then my dad kind of started crying, so I started crying, and we got through all 5 names, and I got out, and everyone else in the room was crying, but like the spirit was so strong, and I was so happy that we were able to get those done because it really did feel like work was being accepted, and that those sisters had been in the room with us, and it just meant the world to me.
And so we spent a really long time looking for names, and it was just hit and miss and hit and miss. Like we kept trying and trying, and we wouldn't find anything. And then we looked on a different side of someone. We looked through a different line, and we found a name, and it was like the best feeling ever because we were like, yes. We ended up with like 23 names. We had so many names. It was awesome. After President Holt was baptizing me, and after we finished, he was like, I saw your name on there, because it was under my account, and I knew I had done something great. I can't wait to meet those people, and it gives me such joy because I feel like I know more about the people who are rooting for me in heaven.
I remembered that my mom is a first generation Mormon, so I was like, okay, I might ask her for family names, and since my grandma was over, she could help us. And it turns out that on my mom's side we got 5 males and I think 4 females. My dad baptized me, and when he started to like choke up the words and started crying. I felt different, as if like someone else was inside me, and each time I went under the water I heard a voice saying thank you, and each time I went up I'd feel warm inside.
But once you found the first name, like, you didn't want to stop finding the names, you wanted to keep going, and we eventually found quite a few names that we could take to the temple. When we did the baptisms for the names, it was just a special spirit that was there. You could feel like your relatives in heaven were rejoicing and that they knew their temple work was being done for them, and you could feel that spirit.
We were branching out farther, finding more siblings, finding their parents, wives. I guess it made me feel, it excited me, the fact that I am now finding things that people had not found in the past. But so it was really, I guess, exhilarating and fun to just go through and find different things, such as like a census that said so-and-so was living here with head of the household and everything like that. And then you'd find these random names. You'd just be, well, these have the same last names as them, so they must be siblings or just relatives. And so you're finding that stuff out, and it's really fun. It's really exciting to find out.
I took 2 pairs of sisters, and then I was like, okay, that gives me 4, but I need another one. And so the last name, I was like, well, I need to take like an actual Bigelow name, like someone whose last name is Bigelow, and I need to take them to the temple. And so we got to the temple, and I did my baptisms, and my dad was the one that was baptizing me. And the first name that we did was the one that was like actually a Bigelow. And the spirit was like super strong, and like all I could think of was like, this is what it's supposed to be. It's like the family doing the work for the family. This work is like, it's not about just like getting names of random people to do, like that's nice, but it's so much more important and so much more powerful when you're doing names for your own family. My calling being a family history consultant, I was able to see the other people begin, just their eyes are just, they glow so much when they find their own name. And I just love feeling that excitement. But I sat down and said a prayer and asked Heavenly Father if I could feel the happiness he felt. Hold on. The happiness he felt for all the others, of his children being baptized, and how happy they felt. And so this young woman gets out to go do the confirmations. And right in the first confirmation, I just started bawling, even more than I am now. I just was able to feel how happy all our ancestors were. And it was just amazing.
And I spent an hour and a half looking for names and didn't find any. And at the very end, I found one, which made me so excited. And so I went home that night and found 4 more. And I was like so happy. I just kept doing them and ended up finding 9. Well, the temple was so spiritual, just beautiful on the outside and the in. And taking the names that I had found was really special because I had spent all that time and work doing them. And I could feel the spirit while I was going down for one of my ancestors, and it was really wonderful. And
it took a while because we have lots of church members in our family, but eventually we found this one line where it didn't look like there had been a lot of work done, and we finally found a name, and it was so exciting. I was just like, oh my gosh. I was being baptized for the names. It was so great because I just felt like this is my family, and I'm so glad I can do this for them, and I can't wait to meet them.